probably all of us already had some moments where we felt a little bit anxious, a little bit in fear. We experienced a bit of stress. I think especially these days. So it was more than time, especially now with Corona, to put a topic on the table and to have a nice debate with a few experts able to talk about that.
Certainly, stress plays a major role when you think about stress and you think about demand and also performance. The balance between demand and performance has a lot to do with the mental disorders. And one thing that I was reading yesterday, only a third of patients that are diagnosed with a mental distress is adherent to treatment. And this is something that tells a lot about mental diseases, mental entities.
I think employers have already started to realize that productivity is very much directly linked with employee well-being. But on the other hand, we have to keep in mind that our employees, our candidates, are much more aware of the link between their well-being and the work-life balance that they should have. So it's not like an option anymore. It's not a nice to have. If you want to attract the right talent, it needs to be part of your EVP. It needs to be part of your total rewards, because that whole concept has become so much bigger than it used to be. I absolutely don't think that the whole stigma that has historically been attached to mental conditions or mental health is completely dropped off the table. But if I speak from what an organization can do as an employer, it's up to us as an employer to take the responsibility to create an environment, create a culture where it becomes okay to talk about these things.
One thing that we didn't mention is a taboo in the company, but I also see some employees saying it's a taboo for themselves, right? So it's like the first phase, like it's not just we have the leadership talking about Ammara, and that makes a huge difference. But we also need to tell the employees that it's okay for them to feel like that.
Think about burnout specifically. I feel that it's a balance between demand, autonomy, and social support. So when you think about social support, as Dani mentioned, you know, being there, the virtual cafe, the touch points that you make virtually, subjects that are interesting, that will attract everyone, something new, innovation.
Absolutely, there has been an evolution, and I think that evolution is associated with it. Employee well-being going outside of HR and becoming more like, hey, this is for the company, and it's not just some well-being initiative or program that HR came up with, and everybody has to go and run in the park in the morning. So it's gone a bit beyond that.
Autonomy, right? And this is huge for us too, and it links to empathy. So for example, I'm having a construction today. I have employees that have a baby at home, and if the leaders don't see that, one phrase that I don't say enough at Deloitte, we are not in the same boat, right? We are in the same sea, but my boat is really different.
As a Brazilian, I'm optimist. And so starting from there, I need to realize that we're going to face a lot of changes. And in fact, this type of webinar that we just had, I think it's going to be more and more frequently. And we need to speak more about that. We need to share more.
this is an opportunity. I think that we create habits in 3 months, right? So I think now we are actually rethinking everything. Do we need to stay 2 hours in traffic to go to a meeting that's gonna last 1 hour? No, we don't. Can we do things more globally, right? Can we actually talk with Ammara that wouldn't happen physically if we were doing this here in Brazil, right?
I think for organizations, if I had a message, I would encourage them to start thinking about that plan also, because your employees have been away from the office for way too long. They're now adapting to this situation, and bringing them back is not gonna go like this.
Like, we can exchange more, we gain a lot from it. We lose, sure, we lose the hugs, we lose the kisses, right? But then we once we have the time to have that back. So I see this as an opportunity, as Brazilian super optimist, of like, what can we do better?